Tonight, if your heart feels heavy and your mind feels tired, listen closely. Jesus once spoke words meant for moments exactly like this. He said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This night is not about pushing through your exhaustion. It is about laying it down. Stay with this teaching, and let these words guide you into peace and quiet strength before sleep. As the night settles around you and the world grows still, this is a moment to pause. Not just to close your eyes, but to open your heart. To step away from the noise of the day and listen to a gentle invitation that has echoed through generations. Jesus did not speak only to the crowds on the hillsides and in the villages. He also spoke to the tired, to the overwhelmed, to the ones who carried more than they could hold. When he said, "Come to me," he was not asking for perfection. He was not asking for strength. He was not asking for answers. He was inviting those who felt worn down by life itself. Tonight, you may feel that weariness in your body, or in your thoughts, or deep in your heart. The kind of tired that sleep alone does not always heal. There are days that leave marks on us, conversations that linger, decisions that weigh heavily, worries that follow us into the quiet hours of the night. And in those moments, it can feel like we are carrying the world on our own shoulders. But Jesus' words remind us that we were never meant to carry everything alone. When he said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened," he spoke of a different kind of rest. Not just rest for the body, but rest for the soul. A rest that comes from being seen, from being known, from being held in a love that does not depend on how well we perform today. Tonight, imagine yourself stepping away from the noise of the world and walking toward that invitation. Not in a place, but in your heart. You do not need to bring a list of what you did right or wrong. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to justify your feelings. You simply come as you are. Jesus knew that life would be heavy at times. He knew that people would feel overwhelmed by responsibilities, by fear, by uncertainty, by the pressure to be enough. And instead of adding more to that weight, he offered to take some of it away. He said, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." A yoke is something meant to be shared. It is not meant to be carried alone. In these words, there is a picture of companionship, of walking together, of not having to face everything by yourself. Tonight, reflect on what you have been carrying. Maybe it is the worry about tomorrow. Maybe it is the memory of something you wish you could change. Maybe it is the feeling of not knowing what comes next. Whatever it is, you do not have to solve it in this moment. You do not have to hold it tightly through the night. This is a moment to loosen your grip, to breathe in slowly. And as you breathe out, imagine placing that weight into God's care. Jesus' teaching is not about escaping life. It is about finding strength within it. He does not promise that every problem will disappear, but He promises that you do not have to face them alone. There is comfort in knowing that you are not unseen in your struggle. There is peace in knowing that your weariness matters. Tonight, as you listen, let these words move from your ears into your heart. You are invited. You are welcome. You are not too tired, too broken, or too far away to come. Rest does not begin when you fall asleep. It begins when you stop trying to carry everything by yourself. There is a quiet kind of faith in letting go, in trusting that you are held, even when you do not feel strong. As the night deepens, allow your thoughts to slow. Let the noise of the day fade into the background. Imagine sitting in stillness, with nothing expected of you. No role to play. No problem to solve. No image to maintain. Just presence. Just breath. Just rest. Jesus' invitation is gentle. It does not rush you. It does not pressure you. It meets you where you are. And in this moment, where you are is enough. Let this teaching stay with you as you prepare for sleep, not as something to analyze, but as something to receive. You do not need to be strong tonight. You do not need to be certain. You only need to come. And in coming, you begin to find rest. As you remain in this quiet moment, let the stillness become something you welcome rather than something you fill. The night does not ask anything of you. It does not expect you to perform, to decide, or to plan. It simply offers you a space to rest. Jesus' words linger gently in the background of your thoughts. Come to me, and I will give you rest. They are not loud. They do not demand your attention. They wait patiently, like a light left on for you in the distance. Imagine walking toward that light, not with hurried steps, but slowly, with ease. Each step you take feels lighter than the one before, as though something you were carrying is quietly being set down behind you. The air feels calm. The path feels safe. There is no rush to arrive, because the invitation itself is already a place of peace. Sometimes we believe rest must be earned, that we have to finish every task, solve every problem, and become a better version of ourselves before we are allowed to stop. But Jesus speaks differently. He offers rest first, not as a reward, but as a gift. Tonight, allow yourself to receive that gift without conditions. There may still be thoughts in your mind that want to pull you back into the day. A conversation you replay. A worry you revisit. A decision you wish you could change. When those thoughts appear, do not fight them. Simply notice them, and gently return your attention to this moment. Your breathing, the quiet around you, the sense that you are not alone in this stillness. Jesus' teaching reminds us that being weary is not a failure. It is part of being human. To be tired means you have been carrying something. It means you have been trying. It means you have been living. And in that weariness, there is an invitation to stop striving and start trusting. Trust that you do not have to hold everything together by yourself. Trust that there is a presence walking with you, even in the parts of your life that feel uncertain or unfinished. There is a kind of peace that comes when you realize you are not the only one responsible for how everything turns out, that you are not alone at the center of your story, that there is a greater care surrounding you, guiding you, and holding you, even when you cannot see the path ahead. Let this understanding settle slowly into your heart. You do not need to see the whole journey. You only need to take this one step into rest. As the night deepens, imagine placing your worries into gentle hands that are not your own. You do not have to name each one. You do not have to explain them. You simply let them go, one by one, like stones being set down at the edge of a quiet river. Feel the space that is created when you release what you have been holding. That space is where rest begins. Jesus describes his heart as gentle and humble. These are not the words of someone who overwhelms or pressures. They are the words of someone who meets you softly, where you are, and walks with you at your pace. Tonight, let yourself be met in that way. If you feel tired in your body, allow it to relax. If you feel tired in your mind, allow it to slow. If you feel tired in your heart, allow it to be comforted. There is nothing you need to prove here. There is nothing you need to fix. There is only a presence that stays. Let a quiet prayer form within you now. God, thank you for inviting me to rest instead of striving. Thank you for seeing my weariness and not turning away from it. Thank you for walking with me through the parts of life that feel heavy and uncertain. Tonight, I place what I cannot carry into your care. I release what I cannot control into your hands. I trust that even in my stillness, you are at work in ways I cannot see. As I breathe in, let me receive your peace. As I breathe out, let me release my worry. Let this moment be enough. Let this rest be real. Let this quiet be filled with your presence. As you remain here, notice how the night feels different now. Perhaps the silence no longer feels empty, but full of calm, full of safety, full of a quiet assurance that you are not alone in this moment. Jesus' invitation continues, even as you begin to drift toward sleep. It does not end when your eyes close. It stays with you through the night. It meets you again in the morning. You are not only invited to rest now, you are invited to walk through tomorrow with the same gentleness, to carry less, to trust more, to remember that you do not have to do everything on your own. Let this truth settle deep within you as your breathing grows slower and your body grows heavier with rest. There is nothing you need to reach for, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to become. You are already welcome. You are already held. As the night continues, allow yourself to fade gently into sleep, carried by the quiet promise that you are not walking alone. And when you wake, remember the same invitation still waits for you. Come, rest, be renewed. Let this be the rhythm of your nights and your days. Let this be the place you return to whenever you feel weary. and in this rest, find your strength again.